we are going to talk about Salesforce flows. So, what is a flow? Flow is an automation tool that helps us to perform certain tasks. All the tasks could be sending an email, creating or deleting a record, getting some data, inserting some data, making a call out, anything around the same. Okay, so how many types of flows are there? Ideally, when I logged in today, I could see 18 types of flows as of today. But normally, what we used to learn about is that majorly we have two types of flows. One is the screen flow, another is the auto launched flow. Screen flow is something when you have a screen, okay, you have a screen, you want to create a screen, you want to showcase your users, you can let your customers know, okay, that there is a button, you have to click here, then this will happen, there is this thing, then this will happen. Similar to when you log in for the very first time into an application, somebody tells you, there is a pop-up that comes up telling you what the cross stands for, what this stands for. The similar way we have screen flows. Okay, what is an auto launched flow? Anything that runs in the background is what we call as auto launched flow. For example, say you want to perform an operation whenever there is an insertion or deletion into a particular record. You created an account object record, and now you want, as soon as account object record is created, I also want to make some changes in the related contact or anything of that sort. Okay, so in this scenario we are going to use record triggered flows. Similarly, we have scheduled triggered flows, where if I want to schedule a flow, how we are going to schedule it? We will set the schedule, we will set the object, and how many times I want to run that particular flow. I want to run it once, I want to run it daily, I want to run it weekly. Okay, then comes the platform event flows. Platform event, consider them like that. So you have a message, you are getting some message from an external system, okay, or you are sending some message to an external system. Okay, so platform event is kind of publish subscribe method that you use in real time for integration. For example, you made a payment using a payment gateway. Once the transaction is successful, say you want to come back to the Salesforce, and then in this scenario, external systems such as the payment gateway, they will send us a platform event which will be handled by platform event flow. And maybe I can perform further operations such as I can send an email letting the customer know that we have received your payment and your order has been initiated with us, something of that scenario. Okay, now comes the one auto launched flow. So auto launched flow and again auto launched flow, right? So one of the types of auto launched flow is, I have already discussed about record, scheduled and platform events. Similarly, when a flow that is launched by some Apex or some REST API or some another process, okay, it's a non-triggered flow that runs in the background. This is what we call as auto launched flow. Now we are going to discuss about the different components that the flow has. So you can learn it like DIL, daughter-in-law. D stands for data, I stands for interaction, L stands for logic. So data would be get the data, delete the data, update the data, which means get the records, delete the records, create the records, everything of that sort. Okay, then what is I? Interaction. Interaction is, there is a screen and you are trying to do something. Okay, you want to create a screen, you want to do some action, you want to send an email, you want to insert one more subflow. That is what comes under the interaction. Similarly, the logic. Okay, daughter-in-law, the logic. So logic is where you will write your decision. Okay, the place where you write, where you can write your decision, that comes under if. So what kind of decision? If a particular thing meets a certain criteria, true or false, that kinds of decision elements we can create. Similarly, we can have assignment. Assignment is, you want to assign a particular value to a certain variable. Okay, the variables are the containers where we can store data. If you want to loop something like that. Okay, if you want to do a collection sort, what is a collection sort? Imagine you have a collection and you want to sort based on some logic, you want to filter them based on some conditions. Or there is a scenario that usually we also have wait conditions. So if I want to, my flow to wait for something, okay, wait for a certain platform event to happen, wait for a certain time, then I will use wait element. Okay, similarly we have transform element where we map our source data to the target data. In the next part we will be discussing the important points to remember about flows. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much.